have to stall. Like the PA is still very tied into that timing. MKS does have the persona, which is good to see because in the loadout screen he didn't.
Ooh.
So he does have that. I am keen to see how much that does for him. Maybe it gives him more crits. Who knows? We were talking about Faces Void Arcana, right? Gave extra bashes there.
Let's see how Gaben feels here. The persona revealed today, released today, and MKS already having it, of course. Very, very smart man, understanding the advantage he will gain in the game now. You know, the unspoken advantage, that is. See how it all works out. RSG looking for a ward, not going to find one. Rupido having a laugh as they do bait out the sentry ward early on. And now they're probably going to be aware there's an obs ward somewhere around that area as well for XERXIA. Happy days for them. XERXIA, they don't want the level 1 team fight, it seems. They don't have the greatest level 1 timing. Though you do have a Visage, to be fair, but it doesn't seem like they want to force a fight. It seems like they just want to try and secure their bounties and start their lanes off smooth.
That won't do.
Oh god, the new voice kind of catches me off guard because I'm so not used to it. So every voice line coming out from MKS, I'm like, oh, which version is that again? All right, it's Phantom Assassin. I would have loved to see a PA Void Spirit in one game, but maybe next time.
This is the first pro game as well with the persona, by the way, John. I mean, in case it wasn't obvious, Jabonbon, he's caught out already. There's your level 1 team fight. JG, he will go for the Soul Assumption. I'm surprised RSG went for that. Against the Visage level 1, like, he can do 300 damage with that Soul Assumption.
Yeah, and they forced the issue out. And they at least managed to grab the bounty room. So it's not too bad. I mean, you know, you still get the bounty start. You're not losing as much. You could have lost a lot more, but you are making some sacrifices. Taking a look at that mid lane first with XERXIA up against JG. I mean, this mid lane for JG shouldn't be too bad at all. XERXIA has a little bit better wave clear, but you can't really harass out JG, and if he controls the lane well as he is doing now, like, it's really easy for XERXIA to start to lose HP. JG can punish pretty nicely. Once the Grave Chills up, he can run down. Gravekeepers can melt to the Spirit Siphon, but sometimes you don't even see Visages opt for that in the laning phase. So we'll see how much you can really do to stop JG from hitting his 6 fast here.
We'll also have a look at the bot lane here, John. In fact, top lane, a bit of a fight breaking out. But bottom lane, Rupido and Lucify against MKS and Roger. Pretty strong lane between the Wyve and PA, especially once you get a couple levels up. It's going to be very challenging for Lucify and Rupido to keep laning. You do always have the spear pushback if MKS does blink strike in. But even just the presence of Roger with that Arctic burn, once it's off cooldown, the amount of damage you do to these strength cores, or just these strength heroes in general, it's quite a painful experience. And Roger, he's going to have a great time. They're both melee heroes as well, so you can't really fight the Wyvern.
No, and this is the shakeup we needed to see out from Roger. Goes away from the Undying, has the same presence out with the Winter Wyvern, but there's so much more play towards the late game as well. He's doing a great job of just ensuring MKS has a safe farm building up. Rupido is not going to be falling too far behind. I think the threat of the double stunts is still scary, although.
Jump in. Spear is there. Rupido going to try and force them back. Lucify still dropping rather low, and now with the dagger, he will be slowed up. Luckily, though, he does go for an early stick. That's going to keep him alive and keep him safe. See a lot of value with the early magic stick against MKS's PA. Naturally, with the stifling daggers flying out constantly, you are going to get many, many charges.
Just gonna be healed up. Just have to respect the double stuns. Like, they didn't have the spear follow-up there. No angle for Rupido, but you hammer in the fissure into the spear back. I mean, it doesn't take too long to melt MKS. You don't have that much HP on that PA, so you'll have to kind of measure yourself up here just a little bit more, up against the side of XERXIA.
Let's have a look at the top lane as well, John. You're going to have Ken there with Teehee. Of course, Xiao Yu is going to be against some of the Pango with Jabonbon on the Nyx Assassin once again. Teehee on the +5 Bane. Really can't do so much in this laning phase, I feel, because the thing is with Nyx Assassin, he has such a high base regen amount, especially with the Ring of Regen he has picked up. He's sitting at 4.9 regen per second, so all the damage you deal as the Bane, who is normally a very lane-dominant kind of support, it doesn't really matter. And Xiao Yu in particular, he can always shield crash and just turn around and fight you. So it feels like the Pos 5 Bane just has nothing to really do apart from keep this Nature's Prophet safe.
Yeah, I don't think you mind that though. Like, if you think about Ken's farm, he's not under a kill threat from that Nyx once more. You are still also slowing down Xiao Yu because this is a greedier lane, so you're building up on your NP a lot faster. I think that's the trade-off you get, and you don't mind that. Like, you're still having a great farm built up here for Ken, and that's all you really want here for Teehee. So, all things considered, pretty decent coming out for XERXIA up top. Ken just finding basically free farm, kind of the same as MKS, but you are suffering more in that offlane for XERXIA. Just a little bit tougher for Rupido and Lucify if they don't manage to find their combo.
Yeah. 0-1 so far, XERXIA obviously picking up that first blood earlier with JG. And speaking of the devil, JG actually kind of behind right now against XE In fact, hold that thought, because top lane, Teehee was getting jumped here by Xiao Yu. Not going to go down though, has the Nightmare, will just walk away. So far, XE on the DP mid lane, he's having a pretty good time. JG, a little bit behind in terms of CS on the Visage. Suppose with the old attack animation, not the greatest at CSing, especially against the Death Prophet. For now, XE if he can keep this up, he's going to have a pretty good laning stage.
Yeah, should just be able to build up. We're not seeing as much emphasis on the runes as we did in the last few games, so both sides have been able to just top up.
Roger will go down bot lane, but Lucify is in big trouble. MKS chasing him down. Blink Strike is there. Lucify, how well can you juke out? Not well enough. Slow was there. MKS, he'll be able to finish the job. You'd almost just call that worth for MKS, right? Because he's the Pos 1. He'll be more than happy to take the Pos 4's life.
And he gets solo EXP for his trouble. Gonna have an earlier level 5, already has a Ring of Health. So he's got a little bit of durability to play with here. A little bit of a rotation mid side.
Lucify. Good shot. It's gonna land. JG is there to help out. I'm not sure what they're trying to do here though. Is the Impale is gonna fly from the backside. Teehee, he was also showing up. JG is forced to TP away, and even Teehee shows up. But now with the Exo popped, they can get a bit of chip damage onto this tier 1 tower, if not take it out. And yeah, the gank attempt with the Fisher, a little bit awkward.
Yeah, very, very awkward coming out from the side of XERXIA, and it's RSG this time that's kind of dictating with their supports. Last time it felt like they were responding to XERXIA clumping around mid. This time they're building off the back of XERXIA. Don't Teehee.
In trouble. Spirit Siphon's gonna sap away a lot of his HP pool, and he is gone. JG gets a soul assumption onto Xiaobon Bond, but it's not gonna be enough damage. At least they do protect the mid tier 1 tower here, XERXIA, but it has lost half its HP. We're only 6.5 minutes in. Next seed creep timing, you probably are gonna find that tower, no problem.
Yeah, it won't take long to melt from the side of RSG now, and they are starting to make a little bit more space in the side lanes. It's still the same story as the past few games. Xiao Yu can't really do much to stop Ken. Ken's just free farm, getting a bit of his own shove in onto that tier 1 top, but probably not going to be committing fully. Still a good amount of damage. Just kind of ensure that at some point when they swing by again, it's not going to take too long to melt. Rupido down bot though.
Copying a fair bit of damage, but Fisher is there into the spear. Lucify even showing up. MKS is going to survive, but like you mentioned earlier on, Jonathan, the double stun, kind of detrimental here to the attempts from RSG. They are not going to be able to get away with trying to chase down Rupido. He's a rather tanky target anyway. Only at 1.2k HP is now the arena.
Jeez.
Cold Embrace is there. Very quick from Roger. Will buy a bit of time from MKS, and now they might be able to turn around. Rupido was dropping low, but they didn't have the Arctic Burn to follow up, so they won't go for the chase. That'll be your first arena down, but Roger does save the day.
Yeah, just a nice clutch heal coming out from Winter Wyvern, prevents the aggression out from XERXIA. First arena doesn't quite pan out for Rupido, and that does hurt the Shaker more than anyone else. Like, Lucify is not getting the EXP buildup he'd want, still no brown boots into the Tranquils here, so he's not able to really work the map as well, which cuts into his rotation potential. And think overall, just this kind of slowdown coming out from RSG is working out in their favor. You still have this issue of a free farming Nature's Prophet, and Ken's Midas is going to come out soon, but you will get another shove in onto the mid here.
Yeah, mid tier 1 tower again, going to be under siege. Prior to that 10-minute mark, that's going to force Rupido to try and rotate and help out. Exo is popped though. It's going to make it hard to defend this. Lucify around, lands a 3-man Fisher. Arena's still down though, so Rupiter's going to have a bit of a tough time locking them down. Meanwhile, Xiao Bonbon, he does melt to the Nature's Wrath. They do move in onto the DP with the Siphons. She will heal up all the way. And XE Learn, he's back into the tier 1 tower. At the least, JG does get the deny off, but that is a very big loss here for XERXIA.
And it's an early tower take for RSG. 9 minutes with the tier 1 gone, opening up the map more, and they can start to maybe track the farming progress of Ken if he does dip into that jungle, not going to be as safe.
Although, Roger, he'll get caught. This time, he cannot save himself. The stuns last way too long. He will go down. This time the arena will work out for Rupiter.
Get something for themselves. Not the biggest kill in the world, but you did need a bit of an influx here for XERXIA, so you'll take what you can get. There's some room opening up top for the shove-in now from Xiao Yu. Ken is just focusing on that jungle. If you don't quite have level 6 on Xiao Bonbon, he's still a ways off from it. The scout round, they tried to jump.
He's sneaking in from the backside. Rupiter's going to join in as well. MKS dropping a little bit low on mana. In fact, JG's here now on the Visage. They found the PA. Cold Embrace. It's going to buy some time. Roger has not hit level 6 yet, though, so he doesn't have the curse available, and MKS is gone. They'll trade Teehee for that kill, but it is more than worth it for RSG. Slowing down the timings of the Phantom Assassin. Slowing down the Battle Fury timing. They will make their way out with a double damage rune intact for Rupiter.
Yeah, they steal it away once more from XLR. Not the biggest loss for Rune, but definitely a very big kill going the way of XERXIA. Like, the build-up is still pretty decent here from MKS. You know, he's number 3 in net worth, tied in with XLR, not too far behind from Ken, who basically had a free lane. So your timing shouldn't be too bad. They lock in Xiao Yu here, though.
Beach Rip is there. Ken, he's going to show up. Xiao Yu. The Nature's Wrath never really comes in. Nevertheless, they find the kill. Nice setup by Teehee.
Yeah, you do have to, again, when you're shoving out like that, you've got to respect the turn from XERXIA. Just a nice level 6 timing here for Teehee. In comparison, I mean, Xiao Bonbon is still stuck at 5. That's your Nyx pause 4, lower level than the Bane pause 5 of the opposite team. And it's at that time of the game where Xiao Bonbon needs to be scouting around. There are good sentries watching some parts of the map here, so it's not the smoothest time for Xiao Bonbon to use that Vendetta, but you've got to do something to stop this progress from Ken and kind of connect with other heroes. They do group down bot here on RSG's side, though. Going for that bot tier 1, maybe opening up the triangle a little bit more. And you are only 2 parts away from that full Battle Fury. You trade your top, which isn't the biggest objective in the world to lose either. So just kind of evening out map control a little bit more. The mid tier 1 being gone is still bigger for RSG, but they haven't been able to play off the back of it, really. I mean, we haven't seen them crossing the river towards the jungle areas at all here.
It's been a bit rough here. Xiao Yu? What about the Rolling Thunder? He is at the vision once again. They'll go for the easy Bane kill. I say easy. He did have Nightmare, but with the silence, he'll have no chance to get it off yet. Teehee still trying, but will drop. XE Learn able to take his 4th kill of the game now on the DP. He'll be happy with that. Very slight net worth lead the way of RSG. I think the main problem right now, though, for RSG is the fact that Ken is farming way too fast on the Prophet. But then again, you look at the net worth graph. I suppose MKS is not too far behind anyway.
Yeah, it's not a sizable enough gap to really be worried. This will scale up really fast. You've got the Midas and Ken. He can just split push. A level 3 teleportation once it's now level 4. It's going to be easier for him to jump across the map to keep that farm game up. Just kind of get more than MKS will early on. You do have the Vendetta already on Xiao Bonbon, and they clear out the top. They're making moves onto the bot, and remember, XERXIA's lineup is very geared for push. Every time they commit like this, it doesn't take too long to melt it.
Bottom lane, Xiao Yu, he's going to try and defend. In fact, there's a big rotation coming. RSG, they've got that Winter's Curse now up on Roger. Exorcism is not available for XE Learn, but they want to make sure this bot tier 1 does not go down. XERXIA, they are going to back anyway. JG, right into the tree line on the right side of that bot lane, does not want to be involved in this. There is still a bait from Xiao Yu being lane. but it's only the Visage around. And in fact, the rest of XERXIA, they are running up top. They want to try and get Xiao Bon Bon. He's really the only guy showing on the map right now. And even if it isn't the biggest kill in the world, you'd rather just pick off somebody here. And he's the only target they can really see. So Teehee, he'll try to rush forward, but Xiao Bon Bon looking to back off. Will try and oh no, no, Xiao Bon Bon. He voice lines them as well. Oh, that is so unfortunate. Lucifer, he'll watch that later and he'll just shake his head.
And the arena coming out after the Vendetta pops couldn't get the spear off as well. And that's a lot of time Xiao Bon Bon buys for his team. And they're not really doing much outside of farming, but that's exactly what you want to do when you have the PA anyway. MKS, full Battle Fury up, sub 15 minutes. Very good timing for him. BKB, probably by 18 or 17 here. And once that's up, you can definitely start playing with that PA now. Teehee.
Gonna get punished. Xiao Bon Bon on the chase now, looking for a bit of revenge for that attempt. And nightmares there on MKS. He will at least deny the PA that kill. Xiao Bon Bon more than happy to take it himself, though.
It's a good pickup. He is trying to work onto the Force Staff, is almost at that item. So he should be able to get some more saves for his teammate, especially when the Fisher comes into play here. And just kind of allow them to counterfight once more on that next 6-6 so far. 2k lead coming out here for RSG. And you still have Ken as number 1. Our Nature's Prophet still farming like a madman. Has the Witchblade on top of the Midas. But you have sacrificed JG and especially Rupido's farm to kind of enable that. So he's eating up a lot of space. And the rest of the cores aren't really able to get as much. JG does at least have the early raid pack up and running. On that Visage, he will cut into a lot of that DPS that you will want to do here on MKS.
A little something extra for the
Bottom lane, there's another group up. XERXIA. Gonna move in. Xiao Yu. He'll pop the Rolling Thunder, but an immediate Fiend's Rip Teehee. He's having none of it. In comes Ken, but Xiao Bon Bon is around. Very quick Nightmare from Teehee, not allowing the Impale. But it won't matter. He is gonna drop. RSG successfully defending the bottom tier 1. Really not allowing this push lineup of XERXIA to really get going. So Ken's going to be forced to back off again on the Prophet and keep that farm going. But he's only 200 gold ahead of MKS now. And oh, MKS, it looks like he's got a Desolator up really soon.
Yep, I'm sorry. My microphone was muted. I was rambling to myself there, Mike. I was saying MKS, all these fights are going away from him. Jeez, I forgot to press that button. And you know, they're just holding back. Like if the push doesn't come out from XERXIA, the map stays open. If the map stays open, the PA farms. And if the PA farms, I mean this Desolator into BKB, like you mentioned from the draft, once that BKB's up, you have to make that choice with D. It's not an easy choice to make. Double smokes out from XERXIA. Use it twice over. See if they find something twice as big for that kill now.
Stressful situation for XERXIA. John chain smoking here from the Dire team. Find something. I mean, JG's at the bot lane, but he's by the tier 2 tower, so you're not going to want to jump him if you're RSG. A bit of a counter smoke from RSG, but they're running across the map. Xiao Bon Bon does break the smoke and pops the Vendetta. No detection? They have a sentry, but it's too late. Okay, no detection, no dust. Ken? Uh-oh. Ken is in a bit of danger. Roger. Oh, he doesn't have the Arctic Burn at the moment, though. He can't lock him down. Now XE learned. He'll be the one to get locked down in the arena. The ghosts are going, but Ken's going to try and fight back. Roger eventually pops the curse, but it will not matter. So they go for the kill, but without the Arctic Burn slow, Ken literally just casually walks out of it.
Yeah, that's some pretty bad timing for RSG. A really great response out from XERXIA. Big kills that'll lead him into the Roche Pit if they wanted to, but they're going to go hunting. They're digging into the triangle. They know that they haven't seen MKS in a while. They want to cut off that farm. Desolator's up on MKS, but no protective items here.
Ken, he's just gone. MKS,
Time to cut you down.
solo pick off. The Desolator has been revealed on the PA. Lucifer, Blind Fisher, not going to fly out. That's concerning. Ken just dying solo like that to the PA, that's not a good sign.
It definitely isn't. Immediate value for MKS. That's a fresh Deso now with +2 damage. So you're feeling great on the side of MKS. Already going to be able to melt more heroes, and they could try for Roche if they wanted to. They will. With the output of MKS, there's no reason not to go for that Roche. They've got Exorcism right after the Roshan as well, so they could transition straight to a push. And knowing that Arena's down for a little bit longer, they've got a window, although Rupido does have that blink ready to go here.
They've got to try something. Got to move in soon. Rupido, he does get the Arena. That's a double spear out onto XERXIA and Bonbon. They're just locked down, but the cold embrace, it keeps XERXIA alive. Berry Fire up. Spirit Siphon's going. He is surviving. XERXIA, he is not going to drop. Roger again saves the day with the cold embrace. They committed everything, and they find nothing.
They had a good read, but they react just a little bit too late, and RSG is able to respond nicely. There was a really clutch spike carapace out from Xiao Bonbon right in the middle of the chain stuns as well. That just broke the follow-through to enable that cold embrace to have some impact onto XERXIA. And now with the Aegis up for RSG, 11-8, 4K lead their way, BKB for MKS. Not too far away now. XERXIA, we've got to see more come out from Ken. He is going for the Silver Edge. He does have his BKB on the Nature's Prophet. That doesn't quite help against the PA if the PA does manage to focus you down. So that is a concern, but everything else is fine, although XERXIA.
Lane, maybe the danger is going to drop. That's a big one. He got the regen room, but it costs him his own life. Apologies, by the way, it wasn't a double spear that last team fight. It was the one spear into a Fisher, so no shards up yet on Rupido. Just FYI. So they do move into that mid-tier 1 tower. Siege creep is available. XERXIA want to try and finally get this mid-tier 1 tower. 20 minutes in. RSG is still trying to make it as difficult as humanly possible. Eventually the familiars will get the job done. The tier 1 mid tower will drop. There'll be no trade across the map. So XERXIA dying, it does cost them the mid-tier 1.
They managed to get 2 objectives off the back of it. There was a little bit of a split push coming out from Ken down bot as well with his Treants. So to get 2 towers for the price of 1 kill. And XERXIA gonna be happy to get some control back on the map. They still have pretty decent sentry coverage along their obs wards as well, so they should be able to tell when Xiao Bonbon is on the hunt. But they don't have coverage up in the top jungle. Gonna have to just avoid that area till maybe they start to reel some control back in for themselves. RSG, for their part, I mean, once MKS has his BKB, you pretty much just clump around his PA. You're still gonna have the Aegis when the BKB is up, so you have a really big spike lined up here for MKS. These objectives still melt to the TA with a Deso up. They're gonna have to do something about this.
Oh, MKS, he's so close to the BKB. Teehee, he's gonna move in into the Nightmare. MKS still fine. They jump in with the Rolling Thunder. This is not the fight. This is not the one XERXIA wanted. They have caught the Mars. Xiao Yu just too good with the Rolling Thunder. And that'll be 2 down. That's a guaranteed tier 2 top tower to drop now. They do force the glyph. It's just not gonna matter. They'll go all the way. And this is when things get ultra scary now, because MKS has a full BKB on the courier. And you haven't been able to deal with him without the BKB. How do you kill him now?
Yeah, it's gonna be really hard to hold. Like, he has to really make a big choice. Nightmare up the PA or Nightmare up the Rolling Thunder from Xiao Yu once it comes out. And if you don't, even if you Nightmare the PA, I mean, the Rolling Thunder just stops you anyway. So you don't have the best hold to stop MKS.
Nice BKB TP. He scans out the Nyx Assassin. He knew something was wrong. Very nice scan. Has to force the BKB to get out of there. Problem is now, though, without the BKB up, you can't defend the mid-tier 2 tower. So, like, even if you don't find the kill, it's still worth it for Xiao Bonbon, who does move in onto JG now. They've got the Visage. Arena is down. They're going to try and force his defense. They're onto MKS now, locking him down with the Fiend's Grip. Is there any cancel? Not quite yet, but MKS, he's still fine. Echo Slam. It's not going to be enough. MKS, he'll man up. Look at this Giga Chat. He does not care. Ken is gone. Onto JG. They found the Visage. Oh, MKS. All right, buddy. No problem. They throw everything at the PA, and he's still going for more. Come, 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 he says.
Yeah, I mean, that BKB is just such a nightmare for XERXIA. They get a grip off, but then you just allow a roll from Xiao Yu. And he can just disrupt the backline anyway. Age is still up. BKB on cooldown for a minute, but they don't have their big spells to use onto MKS in this interim period anyway. The only blessing here is that the exorcism has faded, so the push is a little bit slower from RSG's end, and the Fortify should force them back for the refresh. Only half a minute left on the Aegis here for MKS. So they'll just have to be satisfied with the tier 2 and a little bit of chip damage on the high ground. XERXIA gonna have some time to respond. We need to see that full silver edge on Ken. Like, he stops with the Shadow Blade, is going for the AC. But if you have no way of breaking that PA, I mean, how the evasion's just way too much. Like, it's so hard to burst down with magic damage. You have to wait for what, 8 seconds to fade? And in that time, MKS could probably kill 1 or 2 heroes if you're not careful.
Yeah. You might be able to build, in fact, hold that thought, because Arena is down. Rupido, he does catch up the DP, but the Cold Embrace again is going to save, at least for now, as XE Learn. He's going to have time, and in goes MKS. There goes Rupido. They do at least find Roger, but that's just the POS 5 Wyvern. MKS, he is the big problem, and Ken, he is the target of MKS as Ken. He doesn't have a TP available, neither one, in fact. He's got 2 of them, but they're both on cooldown. Oh boy, and now the Cold Embrace and Winter's Curse gonna lock them down once again on the Bane as Lucify's gone. Rupido's still trying. He brought back into this team fight. It may not matter though, as he will try to hide, but XE Learn, he is right behind the Death Prophet. MKS, he's still cleaning up. That's gonna be the Mars as well. Give him a dieback. XE Learn onto an ultra kill. Would love a rampage, but there's no heroes left.
Oh, they just clean up. XERXIA, I mean, they just keep forcing that fight. Ken trying to play on the sidelines. Without the TPs, he is just a sitting duck. They have no solution for MKS. Like, if you don't land that Spear Arena on this PA, I don't think you find that opening at all. Like, it has to be the Spear Arena or a really good fissure combination out from Lucify. Outside of that, MKS just has free reign. And it's becoming massive issue. You had this window early on where you knew MKS was farming, you knew he was just spending time on the top jungle and triangle, but they didn't stop it. And this is where it just pays off massively for RSG. Xiao Bonbon scouting around, Ken's hanging back, does have his own envy at least, and it's gonna greed out.
Ken, don't go for the creep wave, Ken. Don't do it. Lucify's there. Xiao Bonbon, he's hunting down the Shaker. In fact, never mind. He'll see Teehee taking the outpost. Already the voice line's coming out here from MKS. He knows the Bane's in trouble. They will be able to secure Teehee. Not the biggest, but it's something. But he is trying to break some ankles, but it's not going to be enough. Outpost will be retaken by Roger. And it seems like RSG... MKS? By himself, not popping the BKB. Just trying to see if he can snipe Lucify. Had he popped the BKB, he probably could have, but deems it not worth it.
That was worthy of my thanks.
Yeah, you don't want to risk it. Provides a window for XERXIA once they know that spell immunity is down. XERXIA, for their part, Ken's just farming the enemy triangle. Getting some build up. He does switch back for the Silver Edge, which I think is just going to be much more impactful than the AC at this point. Just have that break to deal with that PA. Not too far away from just finishing that up. Going to be a big item pickup for him. Does scout nicely with the Treants. So he should be able to Shadow Blade and TP his way out of danger. But they're not opening up the map any further for the other heroes on XERXIA. It's only Ken farming. JG barely keeping up with Xiao Yu, and Rupido so far behind once more in this game. Not even close to the BKB just yet. So a lot more farm necessary for XERXIA here.
At least you are getting the Silver Edge built up on Ken, so you do have some form of a break, but it just... You kind of talked about it earlier, John. It just feels so late now. Like, MKS is already out of control. He's going to have the Ags up as well soon. Like, he's farming that up, and... Well, you get to Dispel on the Blur. That's going to be a little bit problematic as well. It's all the refreshes in the middle of the team fights. We've seen how fast the PA can wipe out, and Ken, he's going to be forced to BKB run. Xiao Bonbon forcing another BKB usage, and Roshan's up in 3 seconds. This is such bad timing. At least for XERXIA. So they do scout out the Roshan now with the illusions of the PA, but they want the fight. They'll see the familiars mid lane. Rolling Thunder, Jia Yu. They know they're on the other side of the mid lane. And here comes that Rolling Thunder. Perfectly lined up. MKS, he's going to have a field day. They've got the Visage. Get to work. JG, no chance survival. Is still running. It won't matter though. He does drop. And again, Roshan's up. They could just go right back for the pit if they want.
There's nothing to stop them. There's a bit of a split push coming out from Ken. So maybe someone's going to have to just stabilize that bot lane. It looks like they're leaving Roger for that. He is keeping track. Grip on Roger for that kill.
Yeah. I mean, you got to do what you got to do. Roger, he'll be down for 70, but Roshan's the important thing here, John. Shards up. Aegis up. Shards will probably go the way of Jia Yu. MKS already has one, so he doesn't need it. And there you go. Jia Yu will take it for the roll-up. And now it's a question of when you want to go high ground. Like, maybe you wait for Roger on the Wyvern to respawn. Or maybe you don't. RSG, they are still grouping up mid lane. If they can find a few pickoffs, they might just go.
Yeah, just need one or two. Oh.
Here we go. Rolling Thunder is there. Rupido is targeted. Nightmare was out. MKS, he'll just break. And, well, the Mars is gone. Jia Yu still going. Has found Lucifer in the backside. That's your Earthshaker. Locked down with that mana. He'll be the second to go down. Roger, not even necessary for this fight. Oh boy, and there we go. Jump in. MKS rips the Visage in U1. That's JG gone. That's Teehee gone. That's 4 heroes gone without buyback. Ags up now. They're onto the high ground. How do you stop RSG at this point? It feels so tough.
It is tough, and Ken's not even bothering with the defense, just trying to get what he can on the map. You do have the Slam ready on the respawn. You've got Arena ready to go. No grip for a few more seconds with Teehee's respawn. We have some play. You've got to try something. It's just MKS with a protection of Aegis. Feels tough to kind of survive. Double gauntlet out, alright.
It's a bit late for that, isn't it? You know, the game's almost done here, boys. Smoke out. XERXIA. This is their last-ditch attempt. They've got to land everything perfectly. And it's got to be onto MKS, but he's got an Aegis up. He'll just jump in. The Mars almost already gone. Nightmare will buy a bit of time, but Jia Yu's got the control. Meanwhile, Curse, it's onto the Visage. Ken, he is deleting his own teammate right now and will eventually do so as MKS finishes the job for him. There's your Echo Slam. It's a big one, but it's too late. Ultra kill for MKS. He wants the Rampage. Give him the Rampage. Teehee, he'll go Scepter up. It is not going to matter, MKS. He'll get it done. That's the Persona. That's the Rampage. First pro game with the Persona. Gaben's blessing, Jonathan. RSG, they will pull off game number 3. They will make it through to the lower bracket semi-final of this TI-11 SCA qualifier. And what a way to do it.
Yeah, they do it in style. They close out with that PA. MKS just has a fantastic...